and I think it's your turn.
Is it? Okay.
I'm volunteering you.
I'm fine with this. I can never remember whose turn it is.
It's because we keep skipping weeks like jerks.
Hello, citizens of the internet. It's my turn.
We have decided.
We decided, yes, it's my turn this week to say hello. So hello. All right, thanks for tuning in. Welcome to Don't Get Your Hopes Up, the show where we disappoint you on a weekly basis. Sometimes we disappoint you by not having a show.
Yep.
I'm Josh Allen, aka Lore. Joining me, as always, is Mike B, aka Fony.
Yeah.
That's what he sounds like.
Yeah.
So now you know what we each sound like, assuming that this is the very first episode of this that you've ever tuned into.
Why would anybody do that?
I don't know. Why do you guys listen to this? Who are you people?
I actually wonder if we
who these people are.
If we picked up like people who have actually never, like, they have no idea who we were outside of this podcast. Like they're just going through, iTunes, and it's like, I want a fucking podcast that will, like, I don't know, just give my hopes up and then fail. Like, they're mad because another podcast they were watching, like, was going strong and then just sold out and just left or something, and they're just like, well, we might as well find one that's called Get Your Hopes Up, and like, here they are, and here are these two guys, and now they're into it. That'd be really weird, I think.
Someone was randomly searching through iTunes for the word "don't," and we were the only podcast that came up because who else would have the word "don't" in their podcast title? I don't know, probably lots of people.
Probably a few. But don't get your hopes up.
Yeah.
There's probably not many of those.
Probably not, no. Most people would think of this name and go, that's stupid.
That's dumb. What a dumb podcast. I'm going to listen to it. Oh my God, these guys are great.
Yeah.
New fans. That's how it works.
That's the exact reaction that they have, I'm sure. Especially with these exciting intros that we have from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
So, speaking of terrible content delivery systems.
Oh man! Wow! All right. I see what side you on. Okay.
So YouTube Gaming launched this week.
And I take it you're not a fan.
So I have a number of issues with YouTube Gaming, and right. I'm told that they're working on resolving most of them, which I appreciate. I wish they had launched after they resolved them, because it doesn't really, like, they should have learned their lesson with Google Plus and don't fucking launch something that's not done yet, because it will just immediately fizzle out and die. But anyway. So that my list of issues with YouTube Gaming is primarily in terms of getting streamers to want to actually participate in the platform. I think in terms of delivering the existing YouTube content, it's mostly fine, but I think it's hard to say that YouTube was doing a bad job of delivering its existing content already. It's kind of worked out pretty well.
Yeah. It's a verb now, so yes, that's when you know you've made it.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to go ahead and say that, okay, yeah, the ability to go and look at Rocket League, and there's a Rocket League channel on YouTube Gaming, and you can find a bunch of videos on Rocket League from that. That's cool. You similarly could have typed Rocket League into the search box on YouTube and found the same fucking videos. So I don't know that that's really. I don't think that's really a pin in its favor. It's a nicer interface for doing that, but I don't know that it's really a big deal.
Yeah.
In terms of streamers wanting to stream on YouTube Gaming, there is no reason to be a streamer who wants to stream on YouTube Gaming. Zero incentive. In fact, negative incentive in a lot of cases. So, as of yet, they do not have a paid subscription model. I'm told that they're working on one.
Mm-hmm. They do have one.
They do if you're one of, like, 12 channels. Like, if you're one of the channels that's gotten so big...
Yeah.
That they were like, oh, we'll give you a paid subscription model.
They must have, like, shoehorned it in and, like, didn't think about scaling it out. That's awesome.
Yeah, like, most channels do not have a paid subscription model.
Yeah.
And if they do, I have no idea how you would find it because of the second issue I have, which is that their player interface is just the player and a chat room. There is zero room for personal branding and zero room. You can't even put a donation link on your stream page. It's literally just there's a big player window and there's a chat room next to it, and that's it. So with no paid subscription model and no donation model, that's like 95% of streamer income that is inaccessible on YouTube gaming. Which means that you need to have, God, what would that be? Like 20 times the viewers. More than that. I'm bad at math. Some ridiculous number higher of viewers for it to, I think it actually would be 20 times the viewers for it to actually be worth streaming on YouTube gaming to make it up in ad revenue. Which is also very difficult because there's no viewers on YouTube gaming because it's a platform that just launched. So there's no incentive for existing streamers to say, hey, I'm also going to stream. Oh, and the other thing is, apparently in the Twitch partner agreement, I haven't heard of them going after anybody for it yet, but apparently in the Twitch partner agreement, it says that if you start streaming to another site, they can revoke your partner access.
Right.
And I cannot think of a single streamer who would think it's worth it at the moment to risk losing partner access on Twitch in order to stream on YouTube.
Yeah, that
seems like suicide.
Yeah, that's. I mean, it's not something that is widely known, but it's one of the. It's not something.
It's something that hasn't mattered, basically. Like there's.
Yeah, exactly. It's never mattered up until right now, and everybody knows about it. But it's like, well, maybe I shouldn't risk. Like you said, like they haven't gone after anybody, but you don't want to.
You don't want to be the one.
The waters.
Yeah, like maybe they haven't gone after anybody yet because they're like not really paying attention to YouTube gaming, and in a week they'll be like, hey, actually YouTube gaming is starting to take off, so let's start going after people. And you don't want to be one of the poor jackasses who's caught online streaming when this happens, and all of a sudden Twitch is like, yoink.
Yeah.
There goes usually around 40% of a streamer's income is subs. Like, there you go, it's gone. So go ahead.
So the GUI I think is okay. I think it's better than Twitch's. There's a lot of responsiveness to the site, which is kind of neat. Like they incorporated a lot of just kind of neat things. Like if as you scroll around, if there's a video playing at the top, if you scroll down, then it'll slowly shrink that video down, so you can still see the whole thing, right? Up until the point to where it makes no sense. It's like an icon that just kind of pushes it off the screen. Whereas on YouTube, when you scroll down to read comments, like the video goes off the screen, right? So this buys you a little bit of time. You can still see the entire video up until, it's gone. I'd like to see them kind of continue on that by playing off of what their app does, which actually plays it in an overlay, like in the corner.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of neat. And that's something that I wish that YouTube would. There's a bunch of things I wish YouTube would do. And I think everybody, has a laundry list of things that YouTube should do. But I think that YouTube gaming is a step in the right direction. One thing I'll also like is the fact that when you go watch a video, it takes up the entire screen, which, Twitch does the same thing. I just kind of like the way that it's laid out. You're right. It doesn't lend itself to branding. I feel like that should be an easy fix. It should be an easy fix.
There just needs to be like an ability to scroll down, just like Twitch has. Just let people scroll down a tiny bit. Like you can automatically fit the player to the window and then just allow people to scroll down from that.
Yeah, they already have the responsiveness of the actual player applet itself. So if I'm scrolling down to read, bio info, branding, donation info, whatever, then it's just going to make that the viewport smaller as you scroll down. And that's it. Like they're already doing it on one page. Just take it and do it again on the actual player profile page. In terms of like using it as a creator, it's a little, I couldn't figure out, and I only spent like 5-10 minutes on it, but that should be plenty of time to do it. I couldn't figure out where the hell to go to update my header. Like everyone's got like a sick header, like Overwatch, right? Like you guys have a channel there, and it's got this sick header image. And I think it's great the way they put it in, but I didn't see where to put it in. It wasn't obvious. Like as I'm logged in looking at my channel, it doesn't say click here to edit. And I was like, that's kind of not intuitive.
Yeah, I think that's just something that they're doing for games at the moment.
Okay, see so that's dumb.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's I mean, frankly, the streamer's brand is equal to, if not more important than the game itself, because it's the streamers, it's those personalities that are going to bring out those games and they're going to shed light on those titles. So that should have been, first and foremost, that should have been the number one thing, is make it so that the players and the streamers branding, that is showcased. And secondary to that should be the games. People will watch. Once you get the hang of somebody's personality, you watch anything they play. Future Man Gaming, that's a great example, right? He could play anything, and it's entertaining to watch. I didn't go to his page because he was playing some random ass whatever game, right? I went because he was popular, and I heard that he was funny, and that was it, and that's all it took. And I watched it for a few minutes, and that's it. Entertaining. The personalities are the important thing, and I don't see the personality shining through on YouTube Gaming. They're going much more gaming focused.
Yeah.
I mean, I still like it. I still think it's a good idea. I mean, I still think we need competition. It's just I think they just stepped up on the right foot when they should have started on the left. And that's pretty much that's why I think that it's still, there's still room to grow. There's still things they could do. The YouTube Gaming Twitter account was super annoying up until launch. You and I talked about this.
Yes.
It's incredibly annoying. But now things are moving. There's still nobody watching. There's I think literally 8 people streaming.
Yeah, I just have it open right now, and the number one stream on YouTube Gaming is some guy playing some Mickey Mouse game to 1,000 viewers. That's the number one streamer on YouTube right now.
I'm gonna go look, because I wonder if it is, because when I go and look at it, let's see if that's the guy I see. Cinemassacre?
Yep.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I looked at this and I was like, there's no way there's only 5 people streaming. And I'm like, where's the list of streamers? Like, where's the list of streamers? And I think this is actually the list of streamers.
Yeah, I think it is. Like, you can click more where it says live streaming now, and it will show you a list of streamers. But the reason that I think that it is that is the top stream is because they're all listed in order of viewers.
Yeah.
Which is another stupid thing. Like, list it by game or something. It seems like they heard that Twitch was a thing and then went, oh, okay, well, let's not look at anything they're doing and why they're successful, and instead let's just have live streaming.
So I'm looking at the entire page right now. There's less than 100 people streaming.
Yeah.
There's probably actually 50 people streaming. That's an abysmal number.
Yeah. And I mean, a lot of streamers, I know people I think it was Hotted was saying he was going to look into streaming, but he's at PAX right now, and a lot of the top streamers are at PAX right now.
Another mistake.
Yeah, wait another week to launch this.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I get that they had already delayed their launch by quite a bit. I think they actually meant to launch a while ago, which is why there was the annoying YouTube Gaming Twitter for so long. But yeah, it's just this is just not a good platform for watching streamers. If your favorite streamer, for whatever reason, happens to be on YouTube and they're streaming, it's not a terrible viewing experience. The viewing experience is actually fine.
Yeah.
They're just not doing anything to encourage your favorite streamer to be on this platform. So that means they're sort of left with trying to build their own market, which maybe that'll work, but I have my doubts.
So video quality wise, I'd argue that it's better than Twitch. And the reason why is because Twitch gives me guff when I try to crank up the bitrate. And I've heard that is a thing with Twitch. But on YouTube Gaming, they don't care. You could basically crank it to whatever you want, which hypothetically means that you'd be giving a better overall quality stream. But I think just like common, like, if you're just going and picking a couple of random streams, to compare them, like the average person is not going to really be able to tell a difference, unless you're playing like an FPS or something that's really, really, really fast paced. But other than that, you're just going to look about the same.
Yeah. They do still have the super nice ability that I wish Twitch would roll out of being able to scrobble through a live play, which is, I guess scrobble is the wrong word for that. Like rewind a live stream.
Yeah, it's like a DVR almost.
Yeah, like that's super good. And there's so many millions of times that I've been watching like Shizzle or somebody streaming DayZ, and I'm like, oh god, what just happened? I wish I could go back 30 seconds and see, like,
yeah.
That's really, really super useful for the viewer experience. The problem is literally just Shizzle's not going to stream on this.
yeah.
Like I don't want to speak for the guy, but there's no incentive for Shizzle or people like Shizzle to stream on this platform. Not. Like he's not going to. Like the reason that you have subs is Twitch emotes, and also like generally people just want to support the streamers. But like he's not going to get his Twitch emotes over here. He's not going to get subs over here. He's not going to get donations over here. At best, he's hoping for ad revenue, and you and I both know that ad revenue is garbage compared to subs and donations.
Oh yeah. Yeah, if they, what they should have done is, besides the stuff we already talked about, but they should have also basically reached out and hired a bunch of streamers, man.
Yeah.
Like, just fucking hire them. It's not uncommon. It's happened before.
That's the whole reason Azubu exists.
Yeah, exactly. Like, just hire them and they'll bring their people.
Yeah. And it's kind of like you have to recognize it as an initial investment thing too, because the biggest reason I don't think streamers are going to, like, even if YouTube comes out with some kind of like they come out with a paid sub model, they come out with a way for you to have a donation button, and they come out with a way for you to have sponsors, which is another one that I hadn't even thought about until now, but you can't really have like Shizzle has an Amazon link on his thing, so that he can get some commission off of Amazon sales, or people will have things like G2A or whatever, like here buy a thing with G2A. You can't have any of this on this thing right now. But even if they came out with all of that, there is zero reason to abandon Twitch in favor of YouTube, because there's no viewers here. And until they can get viewers here, that problem will continue. Like it's sort of a catch-22. You have to have viewers to get streamers to have viewers, but since you can't hire viewers, you're kind of left with hiring streamers and making the extra initial investment to make sure that your platform is attractive to other streamers.
Yeah.
So that you can get people over here.
Now, I wonder what the notifications are like whenever somebody goes live. Because everybody that's streaming right now is not somebody that I follow. So I don't get notifications when any of them go live. But, when I see some of the people streaming their subscriber account, and then I see how many people are live, like watching the show live, it's very confusing, because it's like, well, how does these guys have 500,000 or something subscribers, but they don't, but whenever they stream, they get like 100 freaking people watching. Like, are they just not notifying them correctly?
Yeah. This Cinemassacre guy has 1.8 million subscribers and 1,900 live viewers right now.
See, this is where if Google's ABC, whatever, if their multitude of platforms and verticals actually work together on stuff, this is where I, as somebody who is managing a product, I would go over to the Chrome side and I would work out some way, because they already have the notifications built into Chrome. I would work out some way to launch an automatic just notifier or whatever. Like, it's already there, or it's already turned on. Just make sure that it's there and it's functional for gaming.youtube.com. I don't say by default, but why not by default and make it easy to turn it off? Like, I would seriously do that. Like, because it's something that whenever somebody goes live, I want to tell the people that are subscribed to their channel. I mean, if you're in Chrome and you're logged in Chrome using the same credentials that you use for YouTube, which you likely are, then if I go live, I want you to know that. And you know what? During this first week of the platform being launched, I think it's okay to tell you that because I want you to know about it.
Yeah.
And you subscribe for a reason. You probably want to watch this person. It just feels like there are a couple of little things. And they've done a lot. They built this platform from, kind of from the ground up, really. Because it doesn't look at all like youtube.com. But there's so many things. It's like, oh God, it's just little things to drive traffic and to get people to watch. And then of course, like you said, it's like if you bring them, the streamers will come or whatever. It's gotta bring them the eyeballs.
Yeah. Yeah. So I remain hopeful that YouTube gaming will become a thing that people actually becomes a competitor to Twitch. But at the moment, I think Twitch should feel fairly confident that they still do not have any competition. Oh, the other awesome thing I wanted to mention from a brand perspective, it probably actually shouldn't even say this, but if you go to the World of Warcraft channel, I'm actually gonna go and pull it up. Games, the game channel, not the actual official World of Warcraft channel, but the game channel. And then you go to reviews. Like 8 of the top 9 videos on there are private servers. Like, it's a whole bunch of private servers. And when it's Twitch and we see like, oh, there's a huge glut of private server streams, Twitch gives us the opportunity to issue takedown notices. And we can just say, okay, they're violating they're streaming pirated software. They are violating our copyright agreement. They're violating our copyright, and we can shut those streams down.
Yeah.
On YouTube, we have no such thing. All we can do is kind of whine at them and hope that they take them down. And, like, I get that there's probably a lot of people who would say, oh, but it's just private server, whatever, private server. They're not causing any damage. From a brand perspective, they are.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like, thanks, YouTube Gaming, for that.
I did not know that. Wow.
Yeah.
That is pretty...
Yeah, I don't know how, like, I think it's just because they have, like, the word review in them. And so they just went, let's put everything that says review in there, because obviously everything that says review is exactly what these brands are going to want to see represented on their channel
private
pages.
Server review, Atlantis. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you guys have no control over this.
Nope.
Well,
like Twitch actually, like, one of the biggest reasons that Twitch gets so much support in the industry is that they actually work with publishers and developers to make sure that they're, like, keeping everybody. They want to keep the streamers happy, they want to keep the viewers happy, they want to keep the publishers happy, they keep everybody happy so that everybody is willing to invest in Twitch as a platform. And as a result, like, companies like Blizzard will do, like, streamer outreaches and say, okay, we're going to give these streamers some stuff to give away, or we're going to bring these streamers out to BlizzCon or whatever.
Yep. Yeah, I know you guys do that, actually. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So, yeah. Just... Yeah.
I mean, and we haven't even touched on, and we could probably speak at length to, Content ID.
Oh, yeah.
And how that's handled. Yeah, like, we haven't really, nobody feels like with Twitch, and even Shizzle said this the other day, he's like, I can't count the number of times I've reached out and got a response whenever something has happened. Like, somebody in DayZ is humming a song, and it was triggering their Content ID on Twitch because it was pretty sensitive, and it would get flagged. And so he'd send an email, and they would respond, and it'd be fixed. You know, like, I mean, I don't know if that actually happened. I'm just assuming that's probably why he reached out. But still, he had a good experience with them. I don't know anybody who's had a positive experience with a person on the YouTube team.
I don't know anybody who's had an experience with a person on the YouTube team.
That's exactly what I'm getting. Yeah, I've had good experiences with the automated system I feel like, and actually there was one instance where something got escalated pretty far, and I did end up talking to somebody, but that was because I knew somebody at Google that knew somebody at YouTube. That was the only reason why I had a good experience with the person.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how big their team is, the YouTube gaming team, but it needs to be packed full of streamers and support. Like, the devs, fine, right? The sales team or whatever other biz dev that you have, fine. But there should be a shitload of streamers on the payroll and also a lot of support.
Yep. I think maybe part of the problem is at this point a popular, like they really can't go after the lyrics or soda poppins or Towlies of the Twitch world, because they're making more money than somebody like YouTube Gaming is going to be willing to offer a streamer.
Mm-hmm.
But they can go after the people that regularly pull around 1K viewers, and that's the sort of thing that, like, a 1K viewer on Twitch is usually going to be like third or fourth down the list on most games.
Yep.
And they'll be like, oh, I could be the top streamer on YouTube and I'll get paid and it'll be more than what I'm making right now. That's worth it. And then the other streamers will go, oh, well, this guy usually got 800 viewers on Twitch, but now he's getting 2,000 on YouTube Gaming. So it's totally worth it for me to go over to YouTube Gaming.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Although that also could backfire entirely, and they could go over to YouTube Gaming and get 30 viewers because nobody wants to watch streams on YouTube Gaming.
Yeah. It's not an unpleasant experience. It works. It's just, it's faceless. It's all about the game, and it's not enough about the actual personality.
Yeah, and that's the thing that really surprises me about this, is YouTube, of all people, should know that it's the personality that gets people to watch these videos. Mm-hmm. It's not the game. No one gives a shit about the game. People like Towley can stream anything and get a ton of viewers. Lyric can stream anything and get a ton of viewers. Like, Man vs. Game literally does stream anything and gets a ton of viewers. Like, this is a proven thing. And you look at YouTube, like the top YouTuber, the top gaming channels on YouTube. Yeah, sure, they'll look at Minecraft or something. Like, probably a lot of the top gaming streams or gaming channels are Minecraft these days on YouTube. But they'll play other stuff too from time to time. I don't know, maybe that's what it is. Maybe they looked at Minecraft, and Minecraft is kind of its own little gaming video bubble where that audience literally doesn't want to watch anything else.
There's a pretty massive Minecraft following still.
Yeah.
But yeah, ultimately it ends up propping up the individual, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, like my nephew is super huge into Minecraft video, and I can't remember the name of a single one of the YouTubers that he was going on about.
Probably Yogscast start.
I don't think it was. No, I don't remember the names of any of them. Like I said, they were not names that I'd ever heard before.
Oh, okay.
But I'm just specifically talking about my nephew.
Yeah.
But he was out here not too long ago. And he was just going on and on and on. He's like, oh, do you watch this guy? Do you watch that guy? Do you watch this guy? Do you watch that guy?
And you're like, I haven't heard of any of these dudes.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know of any of them.
You're so uncool.
I don't watch Minecraft videos, and I don't play Minecraft. But he wasn't going on about like what they were doing in the game or how the game is played or anything like that. He was going on about what, like, who are these people? Who are these people?
Yeah.
And that's the sort of thing that, like, I have zero actual training or like education in this field. I just have a lot of experience with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I know this. Like, I feel like the people that actually provide the platform should probably know more about this than I do. And I feel like they're executing this completely wrong.
They can still fix it.
They absolutely can. They can still fix it. They need to fix it quick before YouTube Gaming has the same problem that Google Plus did. And that's my biggest fear. Because you remember Google Plus came out and everyone was like, oh my god, it's Google's new social network. It's so cool. It's invite only. Oh, but I can totally get you an invite. And then like 2 days later, they were like, oh, they shut down all the invites so nobody can get on Google Plus now, which is a social network with nobody on it. Yeah. And so that was a colossal fail. And by the time they opened up those invites yet again, like Google Plus is actually a perfectly fine platform. Like it would have been great. Like it actually does a lot of things very, very right compared to both Facebook and Twitter and fucking whatever else the kids are using these days, Tumblr or something. Like it actually does a lot of things. I know Tumblr is kind of not the cool. What is it, Snapchat? Is that the cool thing now?
Snapchat, Kick,
Yik Yak,
and Snapchat, Kick, and Yik Yak, pretty much.
Yeah. I can't keep up with.
Come on, dude, get with it.
Yeah. There's a reason we're hiring a social media manager for World of Warcraft. But yeah, like it's actually a really good platform, or it was at the time. They just they got off on the wrong foot, and it took them way too long to get to the point where they could actually open up and start getting the people that they desperately need on the platform. And the dream had died. Like the hype was gone. No one cared about Google Plus by that point. Everybody was like, oh, Google Plus, I guess I'll just stick with Facebook. That's where all my friends are. And that's the exact same problem they're going to have with YouTube gaming, is they needed to come out with a bang, get a ton of streamers immediately interested in the platform because it looks so cool and so awesome, and there's so many good reasons for these people to switch and try to get in on the ground floor. And instead, there is nothing but reasons to ignore YouTube gaming right now as a streamer, which means they will not get the people, which means that there's no reason to go to YouTube gaming.
But there's still hope.
There is still hope.
I'm trying to make it positive.
No. There is still hope. They just need to hurry up with it.
Do all the things that we said. That's it. Just do all the things that we said, and that's it. You'll be fine. Yeah.
You know what? Just go look at Twitch for 20 minutes, and you'll have a pretty good idea of what you should be doing.
Just hire me. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I need a job.
Yeah. Yeah. Hire Mike.
Hire Mike. Thank you. See, you got endorsements already.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. All right, so let's go ahead and shovel that horse out the doors here.
Yeah, wow, we spent like 30 minutes on that. So, speaking of things that are releasing that I'm not excited about.
Oh my god.
You want to take a guess at which one on the list this is?
Is it MGS5 TPP?
Yes, the Phantom Pain. You put this one on the list, so I'll let you go, and then I will shit all over your hopes and dreams.
Damn. All right, so I played Metal Gear on Nintendo, and then Solid Snake or something, or not Solid Snake. It was Snake's Revenge. I don't know. The second Metal Gear. I played a little bit of that. First Metal Gear on Nintendo was sweet. It was not like anything that you played. It had that kind of. Have you ever played it?
No, I haven't.
So you know that Zelda 1-to-1 grid type setup where like you're moving, the original Zelda where you're moving square to square, right?
Yeah.
Screen to screen. So it kind of had that setup, except it was much more tactical. So the actual characters had a field of view. And you could navigate around them. It was top down, just like Zelda was. And you could navigate around them, or you could sit behind them and punch them, or you could wait for them to fall asleep, and they'll be like something. They'll say something about them being tired, and then they'll say, "I feel asleep" or something. Like it's some really poorly translated something that says that they're going to sleep, and then they'll fall asleep, and then you can basically sneak up to them, punch them, or you can just sneak around them or whatever. It was a very tactical game where you occasionally got into gunfights because you could, but or because you had to, but it was still a very unique and fun experience. So I played the shit out of that, and it was not an easy game either. It was very unforgiving, and so I didn't really get very far. I got like the second boss or something, but then I got a PS1. I had a PS1 for a little bit, and I got the original Metal Gear Solid 1, tactical espionage action or something like that. I can't remember what it said in the title, but that was like the first introduction to, okay, now we have real story, right? The same premise was there, right? You're basically a what is his like role? It's kind of like he's working for like kind of he's a tactical not assassin, but I can't think of, just like gun for hire type character, right? But the whole game still was very tactical. You're calling through air ducts. You're able to like knock on like walls to distract people, right? And then like go hide somewhere to get behind them. It was a lot of fun, and there was actual spoken dialogue, and it was just a good game. After the first Metal Gear Solid, I totally lost it. Like I lost track of the whole thing. Like I noticed that like there was like Metal Gear Solid weird Xeno dudes or something, and it was like, what the hell is going on? Like I don't understand any of this. I felt like it was getting for lack of a better term, too anime for me, right? Too Japanese for me. Like it was too much of that culture in the game that I didn't really understand when I was initially playing it, because I felt like it was like the A-Team, the game, right?
Yeah, it always seemed to me like I played Metal Gear Solid on the PlayStation for about an hour. And to me it seemed like it had the same depth of story as like Time Crisis. So I was like, okay, this is not doing it for me. Yeah.
Like there was some decent story there. Like, and a lot of it took place, there was some spoken, and a lot of it took place on the comms channel. It was all like written stuff. But it's still, yeah, I mean, it was a PlayStation 1 game. Just how much can they really do? Yeah. But after that it got really weird. And then, Metal Gear Solid 5 is coming out, The Phantom Pain. I saw Ground Zeroes came out, and then I heard that it was super short, and I didn't want to waste my time with it, so I didn't. And then it came out for, I think, on the PS Plus. And so I tagged it and I downloaded it, which means you probably have it too if you've been staying on top of that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've played it.
Oh, you've played it?
Yeah, I finished it actually.
Oh, okay. Wait. What was your completion rate?
Oh, okay. So I finished the initial, like...
Oh.
I didn't go back and do all the, like, you can do a different mission in the same space, because that...
Yeah.
I was annoyed at that was a feature.
I was annoyed at that too, and then I went and did it, because I wanted to go back and explore this area they presented you with. I've done all the missions on normal, and I'm still at 14% completion rates. But it's such a flexible game. They've really built in an amount of depth that makes you feel like there's a world here, right? Each character that you encounter has their own designator, and when they call over the radio, they use that designator, and you could see them pull out their radio and call it in, and then put the radio away when they're not calling it in. And if you cut them off in the middle, and so you're tapped into comms, right? So you can hear them all. Mm-hmm. When you cut them off, like let's say you shoot him in the face while he's making a call in, right? His voice will stop. And then immediately the guy will be like, hey, what happened? What's going on? Hey, you there? And he'll call other people, hey, go check out, see what happened. And I love that. Like, I love that there's that level of depth.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
So, no, it's just...
I'm gonna let you finish.
Yeah. So, they don't tell you how to complete. One of the missions was taking out the anti-air guns, right? And they don't tell you how to do it. They just say, yeah, just go and, like, take them out. And I don't have any explosives on me. I think I had a couple grenades. But I'm not going to like try to get like right up in these things' face and then like use and grenade them, because that's a lot of sneaking around to do, and it would have taken me forever. And so the base went on high alert. And so when it goes on high alert, you have these guys that come out with AT-4s or whatever they're calling them. It's basically a recoilless rocket launcher. And so they're like walking around, super easy to spot because they got a gigantic like baguette like across their shoulders here, so you can't miss them. And so. I basically stuck up to small groups or pulled them aside or did whatever it took to basically get them separated from the group. And then I would, like they're walking away, and I would basically tranquilize or dart him to the face, and then pull him off to the side so that way his buddies don't see him. And then I took his AT-4 and I just went up on the ridge, and I was able to fire like these shots across the map and nail these targets. And it was like, I felt like I had cheated the game, because I basically went into the fence. And I failed a bunch of times doing this, by the way. So it wasn't like I had this brilliant plan from the get-go. I snuck into the fence, and then I jumped the guy that had the rocket launcher, and then I basically went back out the same fence, and I fired my 3 shots and destroyed the the 3 targets from like a ridge that was just outside of the gate. And that was it. I was like, yeah, I beat it. Yeah, that's it. But every single mission was different. Like there was like 6 missions or something like that, and they were each very different. But I could approach them however I wanted. And that's what I like about it. Like I love the sneaking stuff, right? I think that stuff is fun. But it was the fact that they give you like the ultimate level of flexibility in this sandbox, fairly large sandbox area. I could grab a Jeep and just go storming through the fucking gates if I wanted to. And they let you until, of course, you got shot or like the tank would come out and blow you up. But you could try. So you played it. What do you think?
So, I actually kind of think that playing the Ground Zeroes made me not want to get the game. So I saw that it was Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes. I didn't even think that was out yet. Because I didn't realize that it was like a preview thing. I just thought it was the game for some reason was on PS Plus. I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna download this. This sounds cool. And I downloaded it and I played it. And then I was like, oh wait, it was only like 2 hours long. It was only like 2 hours of gameplay here. And there was some story, but it didn't make any sense. And well, okay. Now I just was super disappointed by that experience, I think. That I was just like, oh, I guess, whatever. So the gameplay is fun. The game is enjoyable. The way that the story is presented had me I was super interested in the story that they were presenting in the first basic mission. I was super invested in that. I was like, no, I gotta save this person.
Paz.
Yeah, I gotta save Paz. It's important for reasons. I was like super into that. And I liked you have to clear out a landing zone and make sure it's safe or your helicopter can get shot. Like, I thought the game mechanics were really, really good. My problem is just that I have zero patience for stealth games.
Oh.
I am the most ADD, worthless ass fucking console gamer in history. Like, I used to love the Splinter Cell games. And every Splinter Cell game that I played, I would play up until I got to a point where I spent 20 minutes trying to wait for everybody to line up just perfect so that I could go through a spot, and then I would fuck it up, and then I would go, I'm never doing this again in my life, and never play the game again. I have no patience. Like, I don't have a problem with being patient the first time.
Right.
It's when I fuck it up and die and have to try again that I just nope the fuck out, because I'm like, I've already sat around doing nothing for 20 minutes waiting for this right moment to go. And is this the right moment? I'm not sure. It was the right moment, but I missed it. So now I've got to wait for it to come back around again, and doing that whole thing. And I can't do it. I can't. Yeah. I get bored, and I'm like, I can't do it. I'm just sitting here waiting forever.
So yeah, the one thing I noticed, and it feels like on normal mode, it's very forgiving in terms of if you get spotted. So if you get spotted where they're on like full alert, like they definitely see you and will open fire. Like you can basically run through any corridor or behind a garbage can or something like that, and like dive in and stay hidden for a second, and they'll come in and they'll look to see where you are. But as long as you've run around like a corner or two, like they won't know, and they won't fully explore the area to figure out where you're at. If they absolutely know where you're at, then they will actually flank you, and they will basically pepper you with bullets, or that area with bullets, thinking that you're there. And so it's forgiving in that respect, because so you could hide and they'll be like, all right, well, we lost them, and the CPU will be like, all right, well, don't let them get the jump on you, right? And then that's it. So, and if you die, they have checkpoints. I've noticed that some checkpoints are more forgiving than others, but it's enough. So like in that same mission where I was blowing up the silos, I was getting tired of, like, I'd go in, I'd try to sneak in, I'd get spotted, and then I'd get blown up. I could run, but it was faster just to die because I just ran in. But initially I was like trying to get really tactical with it, go all the way around, pull this guy, do all this stuff, and then I died and put me back at the fence, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna kill this thing. And so what I ended up doing was basically running into the gate, and firing a long shot into a barrel and detonating the barrel, taking out one of the towers, and watch all the guys run over there to the towers to inspect. And then I would go and like take out the AT4 guy, and I finished the mission in like 5 minutes. It was super easy, but like, yeah, it's forgiving, and then at times, you know, it also can't be. But I get it, like. It's hard to have that level of patience, especially 20 minutes waiting for someone to line up.
Yeah, like I've had the same problem with the Assassin's Creed game. Like I actually own Assassin's Creed Black Flag on both Wii U because it was the only console I had at the time, and I was like everybody was really into it. And then I also got it when I got my Xbox. It came with it, so I've been trying to play through it on Xbox. And I have the same problem where, like, early on, there's this mission that you have to go into a castle and, like, recover some dude's stuff or something, like his maps or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I try to go through the castle. I get spotted. I can't continue if I'm spotted. So as soon as I get spotted, I have to turn around and run away and hide and wait for them to stop seeing me. And then I have to go and try to sneak all the way through the castle again. And it's just like, it just feels tedious to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I just eventually I go, well, I've had enough of this. Like I actually end up usually what will happen is I will finish the mission and then go, well, that's enough of that game for now. And then every time I go to like play a game again, I'll go, I really don't want to go through that again. I don't want to see what the next time that it makes me do that is in this game.
Yeah.
Basically, I'm just an impatient asshole. And if I'm not shooting something, I'm bored. So I can't do stealth games very well.
So I've gotten about 4 hours worth of, maybe 5 hours worth of entertainment out of just this one map. And I'm pretty sure that, I mean, the multiplayer stuff looks amazing as well, but that's a whole nother thing. But I'm pretty sure that the Phantom Pain is going to have probably 10 maps or something. And those maps are going to have, you know, multiple missions that, you know, it's not even like, I figured it was going to be, oh God, I'm going to show up to this stupid, it's going to be raining, this stupid map, blah, 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 at night. And no, it was like daytime, it was clear. And so it's like, they try to mix it up a little bit. And so I'm hoping that they carry that over into the full game. All the reviews are saying that it's pretty good. And if Ground Zeroes is any indication, then yeah, I could see there being like a lot of, I see it being a lot of fun just because of again, it's just the flexibility. It's like Grand Theft Auto, but even more flexible than that, how you complete your mission.
Yeah, no, I'm positive that it's going to be a very, very enjoyable game for people who aren't me.
Yeah.
And I may end up picking it up at some point just because like I did mostly enjoy when I was playing it.
Yeah.
I had no interest in going back to the same maps, the same map over and over again.
Yeah.
So I was just like, okay. And also I was annoyed by the story because like I won't spoil for people that haven't played Ground Zeroes, but I was annoyed by what ended up happening with it. It was just like oh, but I did all this shit sort of.
Yeah. Yep.
I worked so hard. And I get that it was supposed to be a teaser. Far. Yeah, I get that it's supposed to be a teaser for the actual game, which honestly I probably shouldn't have played it because it was clearly targeted at people who are already into the series, like to get them.
I don't know, man. That's the thing, and you're right. Like, sure, it will also get them, but I completely stepped away from the Metal Gear series back in what is that, like 2000 or something like that when.
Earlier than that, dude.
God damn.
You're not that young.
I've stepped away from that for well over a decade and a half. Let's say that. Almost 2 decades. But yeah, like I'm like super stoked for this. But you're right. Like anybody who's a fan of the Metal Gear series, especially because I believe this is the last. I'm certain this is the last one that Hideo Kojima is going to be a part of. That's a pretty big fucking deal. So
yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, I enjoy your game. I will
enjoy it.
I will consider maybe picking it up if I watch a video that seems interesting.
Now, tell me about this shitty game that you're going to be playing.
So, speaking of games that force you to do different stuff on the same maps over and over and over again.
Wow. Wow. The
I had that one.
honesty.
I had that one in my back pocket this whole
That was
time.
good.
uh, so I'm actually I've been getting really, really super into Destiny again.
Right. Yeah, I saw you were
Um,
streaming it.
Yeah, I've been streaming it. I've been doing the Nightfall. I've been like trying to get together a group to go back and do Vault of Glass just for the hell of it.
Yeah.
Like I've been getting my light level up. I'm up to like 2 shy of 33 at this point, and I'm hoping to be able to get to 34 before September 15th, which is when the Taken King comes out.
Yep.
Which is the expansion that actually seems like they're actually kind of making a game out of Destiny at this point.
Finally.
With a whole lot of the stuff that's going on. Like a lot of the changes, like they're getting rid of the separate Crucible and Vanguard marks, and they're getting rid of the maximum amount that you can earn each week cap. There's a cap that how many you can hold on to. You can only hold on to 200, and then you have to buy something.
That's a pretty magnificent cap, though.
That's a big ass cap.
Yeah.
And there's no separate marks between Vanguard and Crucible, so you can do basically whatever you want and you'll get marks. And you can buy like actual stuff with it, which right now you can buy actually decent stuff with it as well. If you're like catching back up again. They're simplifying a lot of the upgrade process. They're turning, instead of having your level that then is increased by your light to make a higher level, they're looking at what certain other games have done, and you'll have a level, and then gear increases your light past that. So you'll have your level and then your light level. The light level, of course, comes from your items, and each item will have a light level assigned to it, almost like some sort of item level that you have on your gear. They're using item level.
Okay. Woo! I wasn't following until you said that. Thank you. I was like, what is he saying?
I was making a casual dig towards that they're just doing what WoW did, but it's also
pretty
what
much.
a lot of other games have done too. Like WoW did what Anarchy Online did. AO had quality levels on all their gear, which is the same thing. And it's just a system that is more familiar to people. It makes a little bit more sense. Like, as cool as it is to say, oh yeah, I finally hit level 32 today. Like, you can easily say, I finally hit light level 10 today. Like, it works out. It's fine.
Yeah.
They're doing a lot of stuff to the weekly content, like making a lot more stuff account wide. So instead of having to have 3 max level characters that you run stuff on every week in order to gear out one character, they're just making it so like the first 3 times you do something a week, you get a bonus, which is cool. And then you can share that account wide. I don't know, there's a lot of different changes that they're making that make me actually really interested to play the game again. There's one thing they're doing that I think is kind of concerning. Because you remember we talked about how they had the that whole debacle with the extra emotes and class items in their digital collector's edition.
Yep.
And they were like, you have to buy the whole game again if you want the extra emotes and class items. And people were like, the fuck? And then they were like, oh, no. Okay, fine. We'll have an option for you to spend $20 to get the emotes and class items. And people were like, well, that's an awful lot for a shader and a emote, but okay. At least now we don't have to spend $80 to get it.
Yeah.
And then just today, they had their weekly update, and as part of that, they were like, apparently at some point they said, if you purchase the existing digital collector's edition and you already own Destiny and both expansion packs, we'll have some additional information for you soon. Cool. Like, in my head, that means, okay, yeah, they'll either refund you some extra money or they'll give you some sort of like, I don't know, PlayStation credit or Xbox credit or something. Or they'll, I don't know, they'll give you a future DLC or something. Like, they'll do something that...
Future DLC would make sense.
Yeah, like there's a number of things that I was like, oh, maybe they'll do something like this. And all of the ideas that I had were related to... like just offsetting the extra money that you spent on the game.
Yeah, and they were not. Yeah. Go ahead. I know where you're going with this.
So, what they've they said today was, we haven't forgotten about you. We know who you are, and we've kept a list. We've also identified what we're going to give you for your awesome early purchase. Unfortunately, it's stuff that won't be available immediately at launch. The use of the word stuff here is regrettably vague, but we think you'll be pretty excited once you learn the details. Now, this to me does not mean a future DLC. This to me means that they're now going... Like, I would laugh so fucking... Like, I'm excited about this game, and I want to play this game, and I want it to do well, but I would laugh so fucking hard if they were like, so for everyone that bought the digital collector's edition, we'll give you another emote and another class item. Because that's exactly what they're... Like, the fact that they're not saying what they're going to give people right now, like... So, being a community manager, I understand why sometimes... You just can't say, like, you just cannot. You are not capable because you don't want to make a promise that you can't keep or whatever.
Of course.
And you're trying to make sure that it will actually work, and so on. Like with the whole like Draenor flying thing, we knew pretty quickly after the initial announcement that holy shit, okay, we're going to have to reverse our decision on this.
We're gonna need to talk about this.
Yeah, it was just we needed to make absolutely sure that it was something that we could do and how exactly we'd be able to do it, because we didn't want to turn around and say, yeah, everybody will have flying in patch 6.2 if we had said that and then had to push it back to 6.2.2 because of the bugs that they're having to fix with it, then that would have been a disaster. that would have been worse than sticking with just no flying, to be honest. So I can totally understand why if they are not able to yet announce what it is, then cool. But it's not like these guys are unpurchasing the existing digital collectors. It's not like this was urgent for them to get that news out today. Like, I can understand why from oh, people are mad at us standpoint, but that's kind of the important bit of community management, is understanding sometimes that when people are mad at you, you have to wait to be able to make them less mad, because you will just make them more mad in the meantime, or you'll make other people mad in the meantime. Like, there's a balance there. It's never a case of, we're just going to let these guys know, and then everybody will be super happy. So now, I'm sitting here going, wait, shit, should I just buy the digital collectors? Like, is this going to be something really cool that I want? Are they going to give, like, a special sparrow or a ship or something?
Oh,
like,
man.
Yeah, like, I'm sitting here thinking, shit, should I just buy the digital like, should I rebuy the game? Because like, am I going to, because it's going to cost me, so the $20 upgrade, if I were to decide that I wanted it, which I'm still not even sure that I would want to do that, so I probably won't. I probably wouldn't buy the digital collector's edition either way.
Yeah.
But the $20 upgrade, so that means that the expansion is $60. The digital collectors, if you get the expansion for $40 and then the $20 upgrade, that's $60. If you get the digital collector's edition, it's like $70, maybe $80. I think it's $70 for the digital collector. So we're talking about a $10 difference here. Is that, I actually want to make sure that I have the right price for that, because it actually is a big deal if it's a $10 versus $20 difference.
Yeah.
Let's see. Check on Amazon real quick. Digital collectors Destiny. Let's see. Digital collector's edition is $80. Okay, so it is a $20 difference. Yeah. But for that extra $20, like, if I'm already going to spend $20 for a class emote and a couple of shaders, like, if it's, they say that it won't be available immediately at launch, which to me means that they have to actually develop it. Otherwise, like, if it was something that was already in the game, then they would just give it to you. But, like, obviously at this point, the discs are going to be fairly locked. There's no, like, immediate at launch something that they can do, unless they want to do, like, a day one DLC or something.
Yeah, well, they'll do a day one patch of whatever, but...
Yeah, for sure. But, like, this to me means with it launching in basically 2 weeks, that whatever they're developing, it's not like a class emblem or something that they could probably whip up in a couple of hours.
Yeah.
It's gonna be something moderately substantial, which is why I'm hoping that it's like a future DLC that you get for free or something. And at the $20 price point, that would actually make sense.
Totally.
Given how they usually price their DLCs. but it also might be a ship. And for me, a ship is worth $20. I don't give a shit about emotes and class items, but a ship is worth $20 because that's a thing that I can look at and go, ooh, it's pretty.
Yeah, you'll see it all the time.
Yeah. So,
regardless, it's something that is that could potentially be exclusive.
Yeah.
That is unobtainable by any other means, and there's gonna be plenty of people who are gonna be very upset by that because that was the initial problem.
Yep. Yep. So yeah, I'm just kind of looking at this and going, like, again, having spent as much time in community management as I have, which is, I guess, only a couple of years as an actual community manager, but obviously I was doing similar stuff before I started at Blizzard.
Yeah.
It's still the sort of thing that I look at this and go, okay, someone really wanted to say what it was and couldn't, and this is what their plan B was. And in my opinion, their plan B should have said, just don't say anything. Just wait until you can say what it is, and then say, oh, thanks everybody who bought the digital collector's edition. Here is, you are not going to have to spend $20 on the first DLC we come out with.
Yeah.
And that, honestly, they haven't announced any DLC yet for it. So this would actually make sense to me. If it is a DLC, this would actually make sense. Because they don't want their announcement of an upcoming DLC for the Taken King to be digital collectors are going to get it for free.
Yeah.
But still, just don't say anything. Just wait.
Yeah, like what can you even? Oh God. Yeah, they should have said, yeah, it's not ready yet. More to come, and just left it at that. It's not ready yet. More to come.
Yeah.
But we got something special for those of you guys who do the thing.
Yeah, or have some note in there about how whatever special thing it is, there will be a means for other people to obtain it too, or something. Like please just do something that doesn't say, so remember that time we fucked up? We're doing the same thing again. Lol.
Well, we'll see what happens. I mean, maybe it'll just be a nothing thing, and then it's it's like, that's everyone chill out. Everyone calm down.
We're gonna send all of you a lovely Christmas card.
Yeah, that might be worth it.
But that aside, I am super excited for the Taken King. It will be a nice way to relax after another thing.
Yep.
So,
well, PAX is happening this weekend.
Yeah, I'm not going to PAX. I'm a little disappointed. I was hoping that I would be needed for PAX, but I was not.
Aww.
It's fine. I do get to go to TwitchCon, so I'm cool with that.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, you're gonna come up here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to TwitchCon. I'm not going to PAX. Yeah, TwitchCon is gonna be at the tail end of, let's see, what is it? Let's see, TwitchCon.
It's like the 27th, 26th. Yeah.
Yeah, 25th, 26th.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is the tail end of my tenure with Zam, which I haven't really talked much about because of stuff. Let me see. But yeah, I need to look at an actual calendar here. Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, I have about 30 days left with Zam. I think I briefly mentioned it before that they're undergoing a reorg, and it's a very long process. Basically, they're just taking everybody and putting them in a single building in LA. And I can't speak on behalf of anybody else, but I am not moving to LA. I can't. I'm just not in the position to do so. And now, and I've known this process has been going on for a while. I think I mentioned it before. So yeah, my tenure is basically ending in like 30 days. Then after that, I will be looking for a job. I've entertained the idea of going back and doing video stuff, but hooking up with Zam going full time kind of interrupted a really good momentum that I had built up. And I was totally fine with it because it was an awesome position, and I get to walk away with an awesome title out of it. And I learned a lot, and it was great. I just wish that it could have lasted longer, but those things happen. So after yeah, so after September 30th, I need to find an actual job because I can't wing it now that I have a kid and a house. I can't really wing it on the pittance
Yeah.
of the way I was doing things before.
Yeah.
Even with, I mean, I even did the math with like Patreon and everything, and kind of compared myself to other active streamers and YouTubers and everything. And even with that, it still wouldn't be enough compared to where I'm at right now. And it sucks, but yeah. I mean, I've been cutting corners all over the place. Like I sat down and we did our budget and everything, and we actually turned off our cable this week.
Oh wow.
So now we're the cable TV.
I was like, how am I talking to you?
Yeah. But pay as you go phone, man. So yeah, so now we're and that's great. I thought we should have done a long time ago, because TV, Jen is a big TV person, and she kind of got me hooked on a couple of shows, and now I think just like everybody else, like there are shows that we all watch, like, you know, Game of Thrones, Silicon Valley, Mr. Robot. You know, there are shows that is just kind of a staple of our culture and that we all just watch, except for you, because you're a dick.
Yeah. Well, even then, like, Mr. Robot's on Hulu.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, so you could catch up on all that fairly easy. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, you can. But yeah, I see your point. Like, it's something that I could totally watch. And that's one thing we found out. It was like, once we signed up for Hulu, and we signed up for we've always had Netflix. We signed up for Hulu. And it was like, you know, between Hulu and Netflix and Amazon Instant Video with Prime, because we have Prime, we pretty much have everything covered. There's the only thing we have issues with now, but it's not really a problem yet. Like baseball, that's pretty easy. MLB TV, they have a service for that. Right. But Indy is the only thing. But the last race of the season is this weekend actually. So we don't have to worry about it till like March, and I'm sure by then I'll figure something out so I can watch racing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so doing what I can to kind of trim corners here and there, and basically prepare for, you know, it might actually end up being difficult to find a job. I haven't looked yet because I felt like, you know, 120 days out was a bit extreme. So
yeah, you don't want to go in an interview and then they'll be like, yes, okay, you're perfect for this position. When can you start? And then they'll be like, you'll be like, in 4 months.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, hey, you know, we were actually looking for someone before then.
Yeah. Yeah, like I don't know, 14 weeks before that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's been a bit awkward. So yeah, I'm updating my LinkedIn. Took a new LinkedIn photo, trying to make it all fancy-ish, and then gonna be updating that and start poking people and sniffing around. I live in the perfect place though. Like, I'm in the Bay Area.
Yeah, there's no shortage of tech jobs up there.
Yeah, everything is here.
Yeah.
So I could go and figure something out. Astro, Tryon, Twitch, a bajillion startups.
Yeah, Twitch is hiring a lot of people too.
Yeah.
Like, I actually think that Twitch could be an option for you. Like, I don't know anything about their current people or their open positions or anything like that, but I know that you are exactly the sort of person that they tend to hire.
Yeah.
You should show them this episode where we shit on YouTube gaming.
Yeah, I should. I'd be like, hey man, Blizzard thinks I should work for you guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
A rep from Blizzard said.
Just speaking of Blizzard, I'll go ahead and head this one off for you. The reason that he doesn't just get a job at Blizzard, everyone that keeps saying that he should just get a job at Blizzard, is because the whole reason he's not staying with his current position is he doesn't want to move.
Yeah, right. Like that's
so many people right away. Like when you brought this up on I think it was actually on this podcast like ages ago. People were like, "Oh, why can't Lord just get him a job at Blizzard?"
Yeah, it's like
no. A, I don't hire people, and B, you'd have to move farther from where he is currently.
Yeah, right. Exactly. And so it's like no.
Yeah.
I would love to work with Blizzard. I think that'd be great. I know now a bunch of you guys.
Yeah.
That
turns out all of your old coworkers, literally of the people that were regular hosts on Legendary, it's you and Gary Gannon that don't work at Blizzard.
Pretty much. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
It's I mean, yeah,
I guess Chris Hannell was semi-regular. But he lives up by you now, so.
Yeah. Well, see, that's what happens.
Yeah.
That's how you
It's
can't make
one or
the
the other.
500-mile commute.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll definitely be putting myself out there a bit more. Be more active on Twitter probably in like 2 weeks or so. Once I get all my ducks in a row, I'll just throw it out there and just be like, hey, so I got like 2 weeks left, and what's up? And reach out to people. But I know a lot of people. I just want to try to keep my options open. If I could continue working from home, that'd be great. I've been working from home since 2009, so that's a long time.
Especially with a kid, being able to work from home, I got to imagine is a pretty big deal.
Well, he goes to daycare every day.
Oh.
So, yeah. Oh, yeah,
Okay.
dude.
Fuck off, you little shit.
Nothing would get done if he was here. Like he has. I mean, it would be the worst experience for him.
That actually makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Yeah. I would be like, here, kid, here's Team Umizoomi and Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, like for 24 hours a day.
Here, I got you a roll of paper towel. Entertain yourself.
And some crayons. There you go. Yeah, like the days that he is here. That's why we didn't do the show last week, because the daycare closed at the last second. And he was just like, I don't like to sit him. We let him have TV time, and it's actually pretty educational. Like it's taught him a lot of shit. Like we're sitting. So yeah, first off, we're sitting there and I'm drawing stuff. Right. We got him a chalkboard and he loves it. It's a triangle, so I'll draw a triangle. He's a diamond, I'll draw a diamond. Square, right? And he'll be like, Pentagon. I'm like, okay, Pentagon. And then he's like, octagon. I was like, all right, octagon, no problem. And he said, dodecahedron. And I was like, what? And yeah, and one of his little fucking Team Umizoomi like cartoon shows, like they focus a lot on patterns and numbers and math stuff, right? And geometry. And so they were talking about dodecahedron. And so he picked that up. He knows how to recognize it, and he asked me to draw one. And I'm like, I don't even barely know what the hell a dodecahedron looks like, let alone what it would look like in chalk on a chalkboard.
Yeah.
So
I thought for a second, as you were going through the shapes, that you were gonna suddenly be like, okay, pentagram, okay, swastika.
Yeah, so he's learning. He learns a lot from those shows, but still, I try not to stick in front of it. So yeah. Last week we were at the park and running around, and I was just like, oh, I'm done. Like I'm super done, because it was the last sec. I stayed up super late, and then it's like, oh, daycare's closed, and it's like, okay, I'm waking up super early, and it was just a rough day.
Yeah,
but yeah, anyway, so that's it.
Yeah.
So that's why I've been working at home with the kid going to daycare. Because I do work during the day. Yeah. And obviously when I was doing other stuff, I was working at night too. So
yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
It might be kind of nice to have an office. Well, I mean, to go to an office space, right?
Yeah, like I found it to actually be like, once I started working at Blizzard, because I'd been working at home for almost 4 years at that point, maybe a little bit long. I'm bad at numbers. But I've been working from home for ages by then.
Yeah.
And I always found it like very difficult to like some days I would sit, because I was working and playing in the same exact spot basically.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's difficult to get yourself in the right mindset when it's like that, because I would go and I would sit down at my computer and I would be like, okay, I gotta get some work done. I gotta get a video done. I gotta finish up this video guide, or I gotta start laying out a weekly marmot or whatever. And then I would be like, but WoW is right there.
Little icon is just like, hey.
Yeah, exactly. So I would sit down, and there were some days that I'd be like, weekly marmot isn't due until tomorrow. I'll just play a little bit of League of Legends or something. And then
womp womp.
8 hours later, I'm like, shit. It got better once I started streaming, because then I was at least like doing something productive with my time. Because like when I would stream for ages, and of course if I did nothing but stream like 3 days in a row, people would come and be like, hey, Laura, when's the next weekly marmot? And I'd be like, shit. But yeah.
Yeah,
it still was. It still became very, very difficult to switch out of work mode.
right. Yeah.
Like it made it, and it's something that I actually still struggle with now because it kind of blurs. It really, really blurs the line between work and play.
Mm-hmm.
I find when you have that going on. So oftentimes I'll be at work and I'll get home and I'll immediately get on Twitter and start responding to people on my CM account, or I'll be checking my email and like responding to people at work in my email. And it'll just be like, no, you're supposed to be off work now. Stop working.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. I'm so used to just kind of dedicating 100% of my time to whatever it is that I'm on. And that's one reason why I thought for a while there I was doing YouTube videos and working full time at ZAM. But then I just ended up putting more time into ZAM, and lost that time that I had to do other stuff. And so yeah, so it's like it's gonna be interesting. Like I think it'd be neat to have an office environment. Lindsay works for Astro and she said it's great. And I used to work for a startup, and so I know how amazing it can be. The commute would totally suck, but my wife does it every day and she doesn't complain, so I shouldn't either. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Put myself on the market.
I'm sure that you will land on your feet.
Thank you.
I am positive about this.
Yeah. I'll do my best. You gotta leave me a good review on LinkedIn, dude.
God, I hate LinkedIn so much. I am so glad that I never got to the point where I was like, I need to update my LinkedIn because it's such a pain in the ass. I hate that. I just don't like the interface at all.
Yeah, I'd ask the internet to like leave me recommendations on there, but they would just be like, this fucking guy used to do TETs and Warframe videos, and how he doesn't do them anymore, and because they don't understand that because I work at full time, right? It's like, so time isn't always there.
All of your comments would be, hey, Mike, balls in your mouth. I
know. This guy has the best tats ever, stuff like that. Like it would totally.
The number one donkey master. And people like some guy would be some like hiring manager, someone would be like, the fuck is this guy?
I'd sign into LinkedIn and it'd be like, so and so recommend you for the skill of donkey master. Do you approve? I'd be like, yes.
That's it. I'm going to LinkedIn right now. That's not true. I don't think I even remember my login info.
Oh boy.
I don't feel like recovering my password at the moment.
Hunter 2.
Yes.
All right,
well, that's the end of this show.
Yep. I'm gonna go.
Okay.
What are you gonna do actually?
What am I gonna do? I'm not sure. I might actually play Destiny a little bit.
Again.
Jesus. You should, once you become unemployed, you should pick up the Taken King, and we should, like, me and Shizzle should do some shit in Destiny.
Jeez, man. Oh yeah, I'm sure you land on your feet. But once you become unemployed,
yeah,
dick.